Hello, everyone. This is Ben Dunn, founder of Antarctic Press, a comic book publishing company founded in 1985, and the creator of such comics as Warrior Nun, Ninja High School, and currently have a Kickstarter campaign, Tomorrow Girl Meets Punchline. Check it out. Link is below. Hopefully, you'll be a backer. Well, I just came out as watching Deadpool Meets Wolverine, or Deadpool Wolverine. It was okay. Not bad. Certainly better than the last couple of offerings that the MCU had to offer. It was not a perfect movie, but it was a good superhero movie. I mean, it was very meta. I'm not really a big fan of things that are meta where, they're very self-aware and make little tiny references. It sort of dates the film when you make sort of modern day references in a movie, but it was fun. It was definitely had hit all the right points as far as the superhero movie was concerned. I'm not going to go into spoiler territory. I'm just going to tell you how I felt. Lots of cameos, lots of Easter eggs, lots of callbacks. I mean, it was definitely a fan servicey movie for the most part. It was, people told me it was going to be extremely violent, and it was pretty violent, but sometimes I thought unnecessarily so, but there it is. It didn't really detract too much from the movie itself, so to speak, but it did tend to be a little bit off-putting after a while, seeing all of that carnage going on, all the necessary bloodshed, which I mean, pretty much unnecessary bloodshed, I think, but it is a Deadpool movie, so, what do you expect? It's supposed to be ultra violent. They certainly took advantage of the R rating, mostly for the violence and for the healthy doses of the F word, so it definitely qualified for that rating for sure. However, one thing I have noticed is how well it's doing at the box office. Now, if you look at what's going on with this movie, features two male characters, two Caucasian male characters, in a crowd-pleasing, very meta, in-your-face, very simple story, and, to be honest, superhero movies should be simple stories. That's what they are. They're very simple stories. Good versus evil. You want to root for the bad guy. You want to root for the good guy. And you want him to overcome adversity and to destroy evil. Now, while the villain was very underwhelming for the most part, I mean, it served its purpose. You've got to have a good villain if you're going to have a good superhero movie. And she sort of fit the bill for that part. I enjoyed it in as so much that it was better than the last couple of offerings that Marvel had to put up. And I think it's because it was self-aware, it became very, over the top, kind of almost comedic. I don't know whether or not this was a comedy or just a violent action, driven comedic movie. I mean, it is Deadpool, but it does destroy the narrative of superhero fatigue, which is really what it comes down to. I think it's hard to admit when someone's really screwed up. The way that the MCU, and even DC has been approaching their movies is that they're trying really hard to push some sort of agenda or to push some sort of message. And really, that's not what people go to see movies for. Now, by having this do so well and not being so, not being so message heavy or agenda driven, it shows that the whole narrative of the superhero fatigue was nothing but an excuse, to cover up their lackluster the box office. And, nothing is worse than having your narrative destroyed by having something, come in and, basically like like Thanos' Infinity Glove just snapped that whole narrative out of existence. It just goes to show you that people are not tired of superhero movies. They're just tired of badly written, badly, it's just bad superhero. They're just tired of bad superhero movies. Predictable, agenda-driven, message-heavy type of movies. They just want to see a good old-fashioned, slug down, good versus evil type of superhero movie. And I think that if they can return to the basics of what makes a good superhero movie, I think they'll start seeing success again, and we'll see a return of the superhero movies. Now, granted, my understanding is that a lot of these superhero movies are very vastly over budgeted, well, honestly, I don't know whether it's over budgeted. Maybe it did cost just exactly how much they cost. I don't know. I'm not an expert in budgeting, superhero movies, but it does tend to destroy the narrative that people are tired of superhero movies. They're not tired of superhero movies. They're tired of just badly written superhero movies. And that's with any genre or any movie. People just don't want to sit through, 2 hours of a bad movie. As simple as that. You do a good movie, people will go out and watch it. And hopefully this is a lesson that they'll learn. I doubt it, but, hopefully this will start a trend realizing that, hey, maybe we screwed up. It's time for us to course adjust. But no one wants to admit when they made a mistake, and that I feel like they're going to have to suffer some more in order to realize that they need to make a change in their, in their production of these, type of movies. But anyway, it was okay. I liked it all right. I'm not sure how rewatchable it'll be. There were certainly instances of levity, and there were certainly stakes, but it was just more like a sort of a, over the top, raunchy buddy movie. And I think that's what they set out to do, and I think they accomplished that. And like I said, there was a lot of Easter eggs and cameos and things like that. And some of them I didn't recognize, because I've been out of the loop for comics in some time, but some I did recognize. Definitely some callbacks. If you were a comic book geek, you would definitely recognize some of the scenes and characters that they peppered in through the entire movie. The only thing I would probably say is that it was just a little too meta for me, and if it hadn't been so much of that, I probably would have given a higher rating. If they had just focused a little bit more on the actual character development. I mean, there was character development, but it was mostly, I think, very superficial. And you realize that, him Deadpool breaking the fourth wall constantly sort of took you out of that, knowing that this, it was not, not real in the sense of the word, of the context of the world that he was inhabiting. But overall, it wasn't bad. I'd say it was a fairly good standard superhero movie, and it had its moments. It definitely was a Deadpool movie. Wolverine definitely added quite a bit of flavor and color, and who knows, this could be the start of more team ups, in the future. And maybe if they can do movies as good as this, then it might be more. I mean, the thing about it was that it was fun. That was the key ingredient. Is that despite all its flaws, it still was a fun movie, and still was a a definitely crowd pleaser. So anyway, that's just my thought of the whole Deadpool movie. And until next time, this has been Dunn signing off.